Okay, guys, this is Word Chapter 3 Lecture Notes. So go ahead and open up the class descriptions from the Student Common Boss Cornea Chapter 3 folder. Okay, so again, should go to File. We're going to go to Open. We're going to go to Browse. We're going to go find Student Common folder. Okay, on your desktop, you'll click on Boss. You'll go to My Name. You'll go to Word because we're in Word. Chapter 3. And then we want to find the class descriptions. Okay, and then you'll click open and it will take you to this page. All right, so once we have that open, we're going to file, save as. Make sure you go to your student drive. Okay, and then you'll go to the folder you had created for this, and we're on chapter 3, right? So I'll open up Boss, Word, chapter 3, class descriptions is what I'm saving it as. Or classes, actually. All right, so I'd go in there and do classes. Okay, and then again, I'm not going to save it, but you guys will hit save. Okay, and then now what we want to do, we want to convert this over to a document that we can edit, because right now we're in read only. So I can either hit the escape key or I can click view and edit document. Okay. Now I want you guys to go ahead and select the first line in the document. Okay, first line is actually Preston Creek Family YMCA. And then we're going to click the font drop down arrow. Okay, so I need to change this to, there we go. So then the font drop down arrow, and there is what's called Century Gothic. I can also just type it in and it will pop up. Maybe, there we go, Century Gothic. Okay, and I'll click enter. So then that'll change the font to Century Gothic. And then if you notice, as you hover over the different fonts, it will show you a preview of what they'd look like. Okay. And now let's go ahead and with the text still selected, we're going to click the drop down arrow for font size, and let's go ahead and choose 18. Now go ahead and select group exercise class descriptions and change it to Gungshu. What a fun name. I'm going to scroll down for that one. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Don't worry, the older you get, the more you have to rely on the alphabet. Song. Okay, Gung. Where is he? Am I spelling it wrong? Oh, looks like it no longer exists. So let's do, what is that? Cooper Black. That sounds good. Cooper Black. And then let's go ahead and put it to a 16 font size. So I can click the drop down arrow, or I can use these two, the increase font size button or the minimize. So I'm going to go up to 16. Okay. And then we're going to select the rest of the text under the descriptions and change it to, so click the rest of this text. We're going to change it to Constania. Constania. Okay, and then we'll change it to 12 font. Okay. Okay, and then go ahead and select the Preston Creek Family YMCA, so that's the title. And let's increase the font size 3 more times. So go 1, 2, 3, so 24 is what it should be on. And then go ahead and let's save the document. So we'll click the floppy disk. Click. Okay, now go ahead and let's select the title. Okay, so that's the very top one. And we're going to change it to bold. So we're on the home tab, go over to the font group, and we'll click on bold. Okay, so I made it bold. And then we're going to select this subtitle, which is like a submarine's underneath, right? So subtitle is underneath the title. And we're going to italicize it. That's the little I. Okay, and then let's go ahead and select active older adults. So that's the first heading. And we're going to click bold and underline. And then while the active older adults is still selected, let's click the drop-down arrow next to the underline. Okay, so underline, we'll click the drop-down arrow. And then let's hover over each option until you find the one that says thick underline. Oh, there it is. How convenient. We'll click on it. Then let's go ahead and select the title. And we're going to go to the font dialog box launcher. So home group font dialog box launcher. It's this button right here. In the effects section, we're going to select the all caps. So effects section, all caps. Okay, so it's going to change it to all caps. How neat is that? And then on the font color, we're going to select, let's do Aqua Accent 5. Aqua Accent 5, and we'll do darker 50%. So that's the very bottom one. Okay, and then we'll click OK. Oh, how neat is that? It's pretty neat. Okay, and now with the text still selected, we're going to click the text effects drop-down arrow. So text effects is right here. Click the drop-down arrow. And then go ahead and find the one that says Fill White Outline Accent 1 Shadow. Fill White Outline Accent 1 Shadow. That's right there. And then I'm going to click on that. Now we're going to right-click on the title. And let's go ahead and click the font. And now in the text effects button, we're going to, let's see, and then the text fill command, so text effects, text fill command, we're going to open that up. And we're going to select gradient fill. And then the drop-down arrow by the preset gradients. And select medium gradient accent 2. Medium gradient accent 2, so it's red. And then we'll click the drop-down arrow to change the direction. So we have the direction right here. We'll click the drop-down arrow. And then we can change the direction from right to bottom left. So top right to bottom left. And then let's go ahead and put this middle slider at 26%. Okay, so that's kind of how we can manipulate it. And then we'll click OK twice. So we'll click OK and then OK again. Now it changes the title to that. Okay, now go ahead and select the title again. And we're going to click the Change Case button, which is right here. And we're in the Home group, or we're in the Home tab, Font group. Click the Change Case button. And now we can see all these different options. Okay, so first thing, let's just click uppercase. So it makes everything uppercase. Okay, now we can also select the change case and put it all lowercase. And then finally, we can actually just capitalize each word. Okay, so that's the one we are going to do, capitalize each word, except we want YMCA all capital. So go ahead and do that. You'll highlight it, and then we'll go over and uppercase. Okay. So that's a way that you can manipulate the words instead of having to retype everything. It's a fun feature. Now go ahead and save the document one more time. So click the floppy disk save. Okay, now under the Core Express heading, so let's go down to Core Express. Right here, we're going to select the last sentence. So this new class is open to all fitness levels. Okay. Click the text highlight color. So text highlight is right here. Click the drop-down arrow and let's select dark blue. It's probably that one. There you go, dark blue. And then let's select the text again. If I want to remove it, I would click that drop down and click no color. Okay, now this next thing is the format painter. This thing will change your lives. So if you're listening to anything in this lecture, this is the one you need to remember. So we're going to select the active older adults heading. Okay, and then we're going to go over here to the format painter. So we're on the home tab. Format painter is in the clipboard group. I'm going to click it once. That's going to allow me to copy the format of whatever I had highlighted and paste it to whatever selection of text I want. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and drag the paintbrush and put it over boot camp. When I do that, it automatically copies what I had highlighted previous. Now I'm going to keep the boot camp highlighted. I'm going to double click format painter. When I have that double click, that means it just sticks. It's going to stay. Okay, so now we're going to go over and do the rest of the side headings. So cardio combo. Okay, and then do you see how it stays now? Cardio kickboxing, core express, indoor cycling. This flex one, yeah, probably. Flex, Pilates, yoga. Okay, and now when I want to turn off the format painter, I can either click on it again or I can hit the escape key. Okay, so I just opted to do the escape key this time. Now let's go ahead and select active older adults. And on the home tab, we're going to go over to the styles group. And we're going to click heading 1. Okay, so now that automatically applied heading 1 to that first heading. Okay, now I'm going to use multi-selection. So if you guys remember, in order to do that, I need to hold the control key and then highlight. Okay, so for ease of purpose, I can actually just click out here on the margin and it will select. Again, I'm holding the control key while I'm doing this. Okay, so now that I have all those selected, I'm going to go ahead and click heading 1. Okay, so now heading 1's applied to all of those. And then now in the second sentence of the active older adults description, active older adults, second sentence, I'm going to select the word low impact, highlight that, and I'm going to click on the styles dialog box launcher. Okay, so styles dialog box launcher, I'll click on that. And then I'm going to click the subtle emphasis. So go down, subtle emphasis. I'm going to click on that. Okay, so now it changed it. Now I'm going to go to find a couple different words that apply the same thing. So in boot camp, I'm going to find the description and I'm going to select challenging. Okay. Highlight that and I'm going to click subtle emphasis again. I'm going to do strength under the core express. Strengthen. Okay, subtle emphasis. High energy. Subtle emphasis. Breathing. Where's the breathing? Right there. Subtle emphasis. And then relaxation. Subtle emphasis. Okay, now what's cool about this is, go ahead and hit save again. Let's go ahead and save the floppy disk. What's cool about what I just did is now when I make changes to the subtle emphasis, anything that has that applied to it will automatically change. Okay, so let's go ahead and click the styles dialog box launcher again. Okay, so make sure we have that opened up. Now I'm going to right click on subtle emphasis and I'm going to go ahead and click modify. Now I can click on bold. I can change a font color to dark red. And click the format button, select font. In the effects section, I can go ahead and click small caps. And then I'm going to click OK. And then I'll click OK again. Now all those words that I had applied the subtle emphasis to automatically changed. Okay, now let's go ahead and close the styles pane. So we'll click that X. And then in the styles group, I'm going to right click on heading 1 and I'm going to click modify. So the same thing we just did. I'm going to modify everything that has the heading 1 applied to it. So let's go ahead and choose a font color. Let's do a red accent to darker 50%. Red accent to darker 50%. That's right here. And then let's change the font size to 18. Okay, and then I'm going to click OK. And all the heading 1s should change. Okay, so that way I'm not having to go and copy each one. Okay, now let's go ahead and go to the very top and select Preston Creek Family YMCA. And now we're going to actually go to the Insert tab. And we're going to change this into what's called a smart art, or word art, I should say. So we're basically going to change it from text into a form of a picture. Okay, so we'll go over to the right-hand side under text, the text group. Again, we're on the Insert tab, text group. We'll click on word art. And we're going to select fill red accent to outline accent to. So that's going to be this one. Okay, now that we have that selected, we're going to change the font size to 28. Okay, 28 is right there. And now because we turned it into a art piece, or I guess like a picture, we can click and drag and change the size of it. So I'm going to click and drag that right arrow, and we're going to just line it up right there. So we want the subtitle to be beneath it. Now with the box still selected, we can make some changes to this. So let's go ahead and change the text outline to no outline. So in order to do that, we need to go back to format. We have this text outline right here under the word art styles. Okay, so notice we have this format tab that appears once we have it selected. When I click off, that's gone. So I need to make sure I'm clicked on the word art and then click format. Let's go ahead and go over to the text outline, and we are going to do no outline. Oh, I have to make sure I have it all selected. No outline. Okay, now we're going to change the text fill. Okay, so we'll go to text fill. Let's do red accent to. We'll select text effects, and we will click on transform, and then go ahead and find the warp double wave one. Okay, so warp double wave, so I'll just go down each one, and that's square, that's chevron, arch, curve up, wave one, right? We said we wanted double wave one. So now that I'm on wave one, let's go ahead and wave two, double wave one. Double wave one, right? Okay, and then I can go ahead and click the save button, make sure that I have the document saved. Now let's go ahead and let's select the active older adults, and we are going to use this button right up here. So we're going to be on the home tab again, font group. It's this A with the eraser in front of it. And we're going to click that button. That's going to clear the formatting. Okay, now select Bootcamp. Do the same thing, clear the formatting. Now I want you guys to go ahead and select each of the other headings. Okay, so you'll use the Control key, select multiple, and we're going to clear the formatting. Okay, and now I want you guys to file, save as, classes 2. So file, save as, go to the folder we're looking for, chapter 3, and we can change it as classes 2, and you'll hit save. Okay, and that is it for chapter 3.